And welcome to day 10. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. Let's continue to stay on this pursuit of talking about planning, right? In the last videos, we've been talking about how to effectively be able to manage our time, how to make sure that we are, getting rid of distractions, getting rid of all the things that are popping up, but also to be able to help us prioritize our time. Now, today in day 10, we are going to be talking about how to best understand our goals to be able to know what are we going to put in our plan, what are we going to put in our schedule to make it as easy as possible to be able to show up, right? When things are tough, when there's a lot of resistance, that is where procrastination comes into play. So we need to know why we're after things, we need to know how we're going to get to these things, and we need to be able to track them to make sure that we are reflecting. So to kick off day 10, as we start any day, we have our quote of the day. A goal properly set is halfway reached. A goal properly set is halfway reached, right? We talk about the mindset. We say, hey, you got to be able to see it, to actually believe it, right? You got to be able to see it in your mind before you can see it in your life. The same way around our goals, right? If we have unclear goals, if we have unclear schedules, if we have unclear priorities, it's so hard to see where we're going, what progress we're making, or the direction of everything that we're doing on a daily basis. Now, if we have a goal that is properly set, right, we're halfway there, right? We're halfway there. We know exactly what is required of us. We know exactly how we, need to show up to get there. Then all it is, the other half is, hey, show up. And a lot of times that's the hardest half, but it's a part of it, right? Because it's a lot harder to show up if our goals are not properly set out. So what we're going to be talking today is I want to explain to you guys SMART goals. You may have heard these time and time again. If you have, maybe you learned something new in this video, right? This is something very, very common, okay? But SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound, okay? That's each of the letters of SMART, okay? So walking you through those, right? The S, specific, clearly define the goal, right? That's what we need to understand. What do you want to get? What is the goal? Is it amount of money you want to make? Is it amount of weight you want to lose? Is it amount of weight you want to bench press or squat? Or, is it a business you want to, what is it, right? Get specific and define the goal. I want you to be precise about what you want to achieve, because instead of, a vague goal like lose weight, a specific goal would be lose 10 pounds in 2 months. Okay, instead of start a business, it would be start a lemonade stand by April, by July, right? Whatever it might be. Okay, so we need to get specific. That is the starting point. Now, as you remember, we just went over, right? We had you pick those 3 goals, your 3 top goals. So at the end of this video, you probably guess it, right? I'm gonna be having you guys make your goals SMART, right? Going through each one of those, making sure they're as specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound as possible. All right, which leads us into the M, measurable. Establish criteria to measure progress and determine when the goal is achieved, right? Using quantifiable metrics helps us track our advancement, our progress, all of the things that we're doing, right? For example, exercise for 30 minutes 5 times a week. Right? Now you understand, hey, the days you work out, how long are you working out for? 30 minutes. So on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? That'd be 5 days a week, right? Or it could be Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, whatever it might be, right? But now it gives us an idea, because if we don't set a time, or if we don't set an amount of times we want to work out, every day you think you need to do this and you feel like you fell short. Right? But if we could say, hey, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm working out only those 3 days, only for 20 minutes. Tuesday, you're not going to be beating yourself up, right? Because you're like, you know what? Tomorrow's my workout day. And you might find it the longer you stay on that journey, you're like, damn, you know what? Like, I'm in the mood to work out. When you have that mood, when you have that desire, go for it, right? Get that extra workout in. Okay, because then at the end of the day, it's, hey, it's Monday. Did I work out for 30 minutes? Yes or no? Right? Because now we could clearly track it. Because at the end of the month, when you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't lose weight. Oh my gosh, are you going based off the way you look, or did you actually weigh yourself? Right? Now, if you actually weighed yourself and you saw you didn't lose weight, well, now when we go back and we look at our data, it's like, oh shoot, I only went to the gym twice this month. Well, all right, let me try to do a little bit better than that. All right, it becomes a little bit easier. And to make it easier, it needs to be achievable, right? Ensure that the goal is realistic and attainable. Well, while it's good to set ambitious goals, right, they should still be within the realm of possibility for you. Okay, so a good example of that is for you. If you've never launched a business, if you've never run a business, if you've never worked on your own, don't just quit your job and be like, oh, I want to make 30 grand a month by the end of, 2 months, 3 months. Maybe say, hey, you know what? I'd really like to make my first dollar online. I'd really like to make, my first $1,000. I'd really like to be able to do whatever it might be, right? If you've never really had a solid workout plan, don't strive for 7 days a week. That's not achievable. Yes, you can do it, but it might not be achievable for where you're at right now in your schedule, in your life, in your mindset. Okay? Run a marathon in 6 months, right? It might be achievable if you're currently a regular runner, but it might not be if you're just starting out. Okay, so maybe you have to start with a 5K. Maybe you have to start with a half marathon, which even that's tough, right? I don't run a lot, but that's tough for me to think about. Okay, and I work out on a pretty consistent basis. All right, so it has to be achievable for you. All right, you have to be able to, again, believe you can do it and also be able to see yourself achieving that. All right, then that leads us into relevant. Okay, the R. Ensure that the goal aligns with your overall objectives and is relevant to your broader aspirations. Okay, goals should have significant and have significance and contribute to your overall mission. Right. For instance, if your broader aim is career growth, a relevant goal might be complete a professional development course to enhance your skills, right? If your goal is to launch a digital marketing agency, maybe you have to go through, a digital marketing course, or maybe you have to sign back up for school, right? So we need to make sure that we don't have, this real broad goal. We need to be able to narrow it down, because as we narrow it down, we start to see the paths that are going to lead us to it, right? So if we just say, hey, lose weight, right? Then it's like, oh, well, I could just eat healthy one day a week and maybe I'll lose weight, right? But if we say, hey, I want to lose 15 pounds in 2 months, you're going to be able to outline, hey, I can't have 5 cheat meals a day. I could only have one. I mean, a week. 5 cheat meals a day is a lot. One cheat meal, maybe a week, right? Because now we have to get specific with what we're going to do. All right. So we need to be able to get locked in on it, not broad, right? But making sure that it is relevant to you, relevant to all of the things you want to accomplish, and then it ultimately aligns. All right. Then the final one, the T, is time bound. And I hope you're writing these things down, right? I hope you're writing them down. You don't have to be writing everything I'm saying, but at least write smart, right? At least write the words. At least go back to this video if you haven't already, right? And start to do it so that when you do go after your goals, right? Because the reflection question is the most important thing, right? If you're watching this video but not doing these reflection questions, you're not halfway there. Right? We need to make sure that's the most important thing we're doing. So time bound, set a specific time frame for achieving the goal, right? This is going to create a sense of urgency inside of your life. And it's also going to be able to help prevent procrastination, right? Write a draft of the book within 6 months is more time bound than write a book. Okay, so now we understand, hey, you know what? I'm just trying to get a draft done. I'm not worried, right? I'm patient. I don't expect to have the final copy done in, a year. I don't expect, but it's understanding, hey, write a draft of the book, right, within 6 months. So now we know each day, each month, maybe we're writing a page. Maybe we're writing a paragraph. Maybe we're writing, breaking down the blueprint of the book, the way that it's going to follow. All right, now leads us to our reflection question as we wrap up the last minute here. Are your current goals smart? Right? Not are they smart like, oh, do you feel smart by making them? Are they smart? Right? Are they specific? Are they measurable? Are they achievable? Are they relevant? Are they time bound? Right? Are your goals smart? If not, how can you make them smart? Okay, and you don't have to go through all 5 of these to start, but maybe it's, you know what, I got to get more specific, right? When I read back my goals that I outlined for Chris, I see that, there's no dates in there. There's no timelines in there. There's no specific numbers that I could track in there. Okay, make them specific. Make sure they are relevant to you. Okay, SMART goals is going to help you get halfway there. Then we work on showing up. I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope you're continuing to crush it. Let's make week 2 the best week of this year so far.